You may be wondering, Halloween, this is clearly not Doom 3, or in fact AVP, or a Let's Play in general. Which are completely correct, it's not. However, what this is a review of the Silent Hill movie. Well, my thoughts on it, I suppose, my ramblings off the top of my head as I've just been and watched it. People have asked me what I thought of it, which I obviously couldn't answer until I've gone and seen it. Now I have seen it, I'm gonna tell people about it, because why not? Generally, let's get this out of the way first. It's a good movie. It is worth seeing. It's very fun. There are a lot of flaws with it, especially if you're a real die-hard Silent Hill fan who can't look past the fact that it's a mishmash of Silent Hills, I suppose, rather than following the story. If you look past that, you'll enjoy it. If you think that's an abomination of what Silent Hill stands for, you obviously won't. I'm a bit in column A and a bit in column B, really. Column A for the fact that I think they did great with what they worked with. I think that overall the movie was good with what it had. The characters were great. The sort of creatures looked good. The story was pretty cool. But on the flip side, if you're thinking this is Silent Hill, and you're thinking I come to see a game in movie form, you're not going to get that. You're going to get something a bit different. You're going to get a hybrid. You're going to get essentially what is cherry-picked Silent Hill. Someone has thought, I like these bits out of Silent Hill, and I want to put these in a movie. I want to have Pyramid Head in there, just because he looks cool. Everyone associates Pyramid Head with Silent Hill now, so I'm going to have this in my movie. And it doesn't make a lick of sense, because if you've played Silent Hill, you know why Pyramid Head would not be in other games. Which is why Homecoming is stupid, but whatever. They've worked it round with the movie. They have explained it, but of course, if you're going in there expecting the game style of things, you're going to be a bit like, Same with exactly the same as the first film, really. You're like, why is Pyramid Head here? Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Same with the nurses. The nurses in there again, like the nurses with the big old titties and the low-cut tops. That's something that comes out of James's Silent Hill, because he's massively sexually repressed and all the rest of it. And that represented that. Whereas here, again, I feel they're more Silent Hill's mascots. Is it a Silent Hill film without big titties in the nurses and the big Pyramid Head stabbing people? I guess on a movie front, I suppose it's not. That's, I suppose, what people are expecting out of the film, if you're, Whereas a lot of the sort of gamers going to see it, who love the Silent Hill films, will be going, eh? But anyway, that aside, let's just go through it quickly. It involves Heather. It starts out really well. She's nightmaring the amusement park, and the rabbit's in there, and that was really cool. And the music really fits. Some of it straight from the games, I believe. And the rabbit's all like, jump scare. Which I might add, there are a lot of jump scares in this film. This film has a real jump scare boner. It seriously is beating off the fact that it loves jump scaring you to death. Which I don't mind, particularly. It's almost a standard in a horror movie, but it's very obvious when it's going to do it. Heather will be walking towards the camera, and then she'll turn around, and suddenly, oh my god, and the thing goes, wing, and then something happens, boo! Which is annoying, but not unexpected for a horror movie. Anyway, it does start off well, and then it moves into the pretty much generic movie stuff, setting the scene, what's going on, why are Harry and Heather in the situation they are. She meets her co-star for the game, which is Jon Snow, or Vincent. Bizarrely, Vincent's now a school kid, but just roll with it, it's fine. Cherry pick Silent Hill and all. And of course, eventually, she runs into the private detective man from Silent Hill 3, which he doesn't really have much screen time, I have to be honest, but there we go. And then she's in the mall, which is kind of cool. The mall's gone all crazy Silent Hill-y again. And then they go and basically end up in Silent Hill. You know how it's going to roll. Claudia's in it with her crazy not eyebrows thing and go all cryptic bullshit, which is nice and intact, I must be honest. There was a lot of cryptic bullshit going on, which I was genuinely impressed at. And yeah, that's the sort of general plot of the film. I don't want to say too much. If you're ever going to see it, you don't want me telling you all the details. That'd be silly and boring, and you might as well watch it yourself if that's the case. But yeah, the overall plot, like I said, barring the fact it's cherry-picked, and you think you might go, what's going on a bit, it's decent, it's fun, and I was not bored watching it. But if you've played the games, you know what's going to happen, more or less. They've changed things around, but you know what's going to happen. You generally have the general gist. You can see it and go, okay. You can spot the scenes they've taken from a few Silent Hills and gone, right, I can see why they took it, This is a spoiler, obviously you're going to watch the film, don't mute it for the next 10 seconds or so. The fairground scene with Dark Alyssa and Heather, and the things going around, is fantastic, looks great. Probably on the wrong side of cheesy. It's getting in a bit cheesy territory, It's we're definitely on Stilton levels here, but it worked out well and it's nice. I'm going to move on from the actual story and stuff. I've said my piece on that. It's a bit weird, and if you are a die-hard fan of the games and don't think they should have been changed, you'll probably not like that, I have to be honest. But we're moving on to what I think is fantastic: the costumes and set design. Good God, do they put a lot of effort into this? Like, while they may, like I said, have cherry-picked what they wanted, like with Pyramid Head and with the nurses, they look so good. And it's not CG. There's only one CG monster in it, I think, which you can tell. But everything else is costumes, and same with the first, really. And it just looks so good. You can see these, obviously, people inside these costumes, but writhing and creepily and twitching and going, and it looks so good. It's fantastic. Like, the costumes and set and real people look so much better than CG. It really does. And they've put a lot of effort. Someone's obviously taken great care to make this look disturbing, and alongside the Silent Hill flavour as much as they can. They're not done just they're not as they're not as symbolic as Silent Hill 3's monsters. There's no sort of phallic imagery going on with Heather's fears and things like that. That's not in there. But with what they could have done, it's more Homecoming-esque, I suppose, on monster design, which is odd. It doesn't make as much sense, but it just looks good, and that's what it's going for, really. I suppose that's the film altogether. You're not going in there for the Silent Hill game experience. You're going in there for a mishmash film experience, which is something fun, which I think's fair enough, really. But then moving to set design, oh wow, like this. As far as I gather, this film was made on a bit of a shoestring budget, but damn, the sets are really cool. The Brookhaven Hospital section is just, well, you can't fault it. It looks as it did in the game. It pretty much down to a T. It looks, the rusted corridors, the bits hanging off, the weird doors, the little flaps on the ceiling, the creaking of everything, the chains going round. Wow, I have no complaints on the set design. It's so good. It really is. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, both those things are massive positives. The creature design, the sort of the costumes, and the set is so good, and I was really impressed. 3D. I mean, the film's in 3D. It's called Silent Hill Revelations 3D, I think. And same with all 3D, quite frankly. It doesn't take anything away from the film. It doesn't really add anything to the film. The falling ash effect, which kind of looks... If you've ever played the 3DS, you'll understand what I mean here. Where if you pick up a chicken as Link and you run with it, all the feathers fly into the screen. Which is really cool, which is what they did here with the film, with the falling ash in the town. And it looks really cool, don't get me wrong. I could have done without wearing the glasses. I don't wear glasses normally. I don't need them. So wearing glasses while I'm watching a film, I find quite strange. So I could do without that. I could watch it happily in 2D and not miss a thing. Let's put it that way. I would have been happy with the 2D film, but it doesn't add or take away. So whatever. It makes no difference. Sound design. In general, the sound is great. Everything sounds Silent Hill-y. The music is pretty much taken from the games. I think some of it is, in fact, directly from the games. The sound effects of the creatures, the noises, the groans. The only thing I have a problem with is the goddamn scare chords, which I said are very predictable and a little bit annoying. But if it's a horror movie, we've got to have scare chords in here, otherwise people wouldn't know it's a horror movie, I guess, or something. Nah. The first film didn't really have many, so I'm not quite sure why the second decided to have a massive horror boner, but the scare chords, but whatever. I might as well wrap up. I'm rambling a bit, so I do apologise. It's been a long day, and I've drank a lot of Coke. Glug glug, sugar, way. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts. Is the film is worth seeing. It's not the best film I've ever seen. It's nowhere near the worst film I've ever seen. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I wasn't bored, and I think with what they could have done with a video, it's probably the best video game movie I've seen. Let's put it that way. It's quality. It's no Mario Brothers. It's no Prince of Persia. It's no what are the terrible gaming films was it? It's no Resident Evil, which I personally can't stand. I hate those movies. They're really silly. They're funny if you're drunk and you want to watch something ridiculously stupid, but that's just my view on that. I was going to say, it's not quite Mortal Kombat-esque, because Mortal Kombat is, of course, amusing. It's terrible, but very funny. So, yeah, that's it. If you're on the edge, if you're wondering, go see it. It's fun. If you are a die-hard fan of the games, you think they should have left the story and the proper symbolism in, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. I honestly don't. I think because the fact it is Silent Hill the remix, my favourite bits from the director, I don't think that'll be for you. I couldn't recommend it for someone who, has to have the same symbolism and the same meaning behind the film. But I think if you want something that's essentially super simplified Silent Hill that's a bit of fun, it's well worth having a look. And to quite frank, just to spite Homecoming, go see it and then just be like, wow, Homecoming sucked bad. It really did. You should not buy Homecoming. Yeah, I'm done with the Homecoming bashing. I feel better, actually, now. Downpour's next on the list, probably. I need to play that, and probably LP it, and then bash that as well, because I imagine that's not very good either. I've just got a feeling. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to this review / my thoughts on the film. As I said, just got back, so yeah. Well, that's it. AVP tomorrow, I think, since it's a bit overdue, the AVP. And yeah, so thanks for listening. Till then, bye bye.